and she goes, "Yeah, I ain't never seen red pubic hair before," and then picks her stuff up and leaves. And and I wanted to quit on the fucking spot.
Oh my god.
Hey
I
guys,
know I would have.
Ben, did you get your stuff set up to record, or am I gonna have to really quick take a second and
Oh,
install?
I'm already going.
Oh, okay, Joe.
Oh, sweet. How long have we been recording?
30 seconds.
Oh, okay, cool.
Only
Oh,
30
just-
seconds. They
Just
missed
long
it.
enough to hear that
Like,
story.
like halfway through that.
Halfway
to a
through the
punchline,
story,
and
it's
then
gonna
punchline.
fade into like I'd never seen red pubic hairs before.
So it's a good spot. It's a good spot.
And that is how I met your mother.
Oh God.
Oh dear God.
What a story that would be. I would want to talk to my parents for like a month.
I
All
got
right.
This ominous shadow coming down
All right,
from above
just,
now.
I am no longer here.
All right. So, are we all ready?
No.
I got my character sheet.
I was wondering why the dead were speaking.
It's a sad, unfortunate time right now.
Well, previously, our heroes continued to explore the cave where they found Vince, who had been led there by an Oni that had taken residence inside. After defeating it, the party was left to explore the caves since the only exit they knew of had been sealed off. After an attempt to create a spider silk rope to climb out of the hole in the roof of the main cavern, you all explored the tunnels and found another room where a flock of sturges lived, and after fighting off the pests, found that the tunnels winded around. Vince went back and began to figure out a way to destroy the ground from underneath the fallen rubble of the shack, while Kane and Febjorn scouted out the other tunnels, eventually stumbling into a path that led to the outside. Febjorn began traversing the forest in the direction that he believed the shack to be in, and at the same time, Vince successfully caused a cave-in, creating a new pathway to the forest. Kane and Febjorn discovered this and met up with the rest of the party, and after a brief discussion, Kane, Febjorn, and Vince, and Sebastian all went into the final tunnel that had been left unexplored. They were then ambushed by a black pudding, who after being split into two, felled Febjorn. And in his final breath, Febjorn threw his light hammer at the remaining ooze, ending the combat. And this is where we pick up our story.
Okay.
So currently, before you, you see the body of your comrade laid before you. What do you do?
I stabled my boy though. You forgot
Yeah.
to mention.
Sebastian is
Sebastian
currently
is
unconscious,
currently
but
unconscious,
it's not dead.
No. I'm more focused on Sebastian right now. I'm making sure he's breathing, checking his pulse every couple seconds to make sure that I'm not losing him. And I'm just kind of kneeled down, holding him right now.
Yeah, and you see that his breathing had become steady and calm, and at this point in time, you can feel secure in knowing that he'll be able to pull through this.
I believe it's time we should go. I don't think Scott can answer me.
I'm guessing there's loud noises.
You're telling me that even through a cave-in, Aethera is still asleep.
That happened. You went to sleep after the cave-in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, regardless, I'm going to hold Sebastian and begin walking towards the back to the main entrance. I'm sorry, Kane, but you're gonna have to figure a way to carry Febjorn.
Oh, Kane was already decided that on the last one, but he was already picking up February and starting to leave by the end of last session. So
Okay.
So yeah, you both carrying
got a
Vince
cool new
carrying
weapon.
Sebastian, Kane carrying Febjorn, proceed up the tunnel back into the main room, where you see Thera and James lay sleeping, where you laid up the night before.
Athera. Are you awake?
Excuse me. She kind of rolls over and looks over at God, it's really hard to remember what your name is when you change it to Chocolate Thunder.
Vince. Sorry.
She looks over to Vince.
Uh,
Kind of like half asleep, still, kind of just waking up.
you see that I'm holding like a sprawled out Sebastian in my arms.
Uh, i- is this another one of y'all's things, or is this an actual?
He's
Uh,
he's not willingly unconscious, is what I'm about to propose to you. If you would kindly help.
oh, yes. She quickly rolls over and moves over to his side.
And then
Uh,
Kane walks around the corner with just a full-on dead Fabian.
What does his corpse look like? Actually, what's the damage?
Like, yeah,
to
what
it?
did,
So-
what did the thing do to it?
fucking everyone's dead. God.
So, Athera, you see Febjorn, his lifeless body, the chainmail that made up his shirt is completely disintegrated away. There's only like half of it remaining. The armor on his shoulders has begun to deteriorate as well, and the skin underneath it all is burned almost as if from an acidic, uh, almost as if by an acid.
She kind of just sits there, kind of stunned, watching Kane walk over with Febjorn, and with a single tear, just turns back to Sebastian as he lays in Vince's arms.
It's okay. I know.
Kane's just gonna kind of he just stands up and he's just gonna continue walking where we collapsed the tunnel earlier. He's gonna just walk back toward that and go to start exiting.
Then she's gonna just lay her hand on Sebastian. Use a second level cure wounds.
Okay. And how much do you heal?
That's a 14.
14. Nice.
Nice.
Give me 1 second. Forgot to pull up Sebastian's character sheet.
My son.
So you see, after casting that cure wounds, Sebastian's eyes fly open, and he gets up, looks around, sees that he's being carried by Vince, and just kind of, where normally if different circumstances he would struggle to get out of Vince's arms to be on his own, but he just kind of accepts the fact that he's being carried.
It's all right, buddy. I've got you.
So does someone want to explain, kind of the whole fucking situation to me, please?
Shortly after we left you to enjoy your nap, we went on a little exploration trip. Found an extra room that connected to this one, and little black ooze came out and killed Febjorn.
A black ooze.
If it's any additional note, it ate his armor. I'm not too knowledgeable in what it could be.
I can see that it eat through his arm.
Yes. And I'm sorry, Athera. It's already been too long to try to bring him back the easy way.
But
Unless you know somebody who could possibly try to bring him back. If you know anything or anybody, I plan on giving your friend a proper burial.
I don't know.
It's okay to take time to process these things. I understand you woke up and your friend's dead. It's a lot. I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a-
One friend's dead. Uh, another one is carrying essentially his son.
It, well,
Eh,
it's I understand. I understand, and I'm going to like lay Sebastian down and like just give Athera a hug. I know, I know.
Sebastian gives Athera's leg a hug.
Let's get out of here and we'll head back to town and give him a proper burial. Okay. We're not leaving him here in this musty cave.
Oh yeah, no, Kane's already got him like basically at the front entrance to go up that bridge. Vince Glamood.
Yeah. Are you going to be okay?
just at a loss of words. Athera just kind of nods her head.
I'm gonna stand up first and hold my hand out to assist Athera on my way out.
And you all exit the caves.
Yeah.
So
Kane's standing at the top. I guess he wouldn't like just walk off with everybody. He was waiting outside, and he kind of looks back at everybody as they exit, and he's it's not an option that I would prefer to do, but I think there's a way. I think there's a way for us to get the money to bring back Fabian. It's not preferable for me, but it is a way.
In the meantime, can we at least put him to rest?
We can. After that, and after we finish in town, we need to head to Hog's Feet. I have somebody we have to meet.
Okay. I'm gonna start heading towards.
A long walk back.
Yeah, I'm gonna start making the long walk back.
So you all exit the newly formed exit that Vince had made before, climbing up through the rubble of the shack that had been there once before but is no longer there. You look up at the sky as you're all heading out, and between the branches and the leaves of the trees, you can see a storm cloud beginning to form. And as you continue through the forest, you see it grow larger and larger as it's beginning to circle above the entrance to this cave.
Like it's just one cloud, or like a one,
It's
one storm that's just like centered there.
yeah, and you see the clouds begin to spiral, seemingly right over the spot
Of
that you
Like
That
where
I
we
made?
are currently, like outside.
of the spot where Fedbjorn died.
oh,
Huh.
I don't think this
Vince looks
god was too happy.
at that, or nature's quite cliche.
Either way, I don't think we should stay here too long.
Agreed. And
I'm good to move if you are.
let's go.
And you guys continue working your way through the forest, eventually coming across the path that leads to the Goblin Village. I'm guessing you guys all continue towards Shurfield.
To Shurfield.
So yeah, you turn the opposite direction, put your backs to the village, and begin walking through the forest and the shrubs, the overgrowth, finding your way through, eventually coming out to the edge of the forest, to the fields of a about 5-hour walk back to Shurfield. You look back at the area that you saw the storm clouds forming, and a storm centered on that area has begun. It hasn't spread outside the forest, but the one area is now covered in torrential downpour. The current you currently have about 4 hours of daylight left, and about a 5-hour walk ahead of you.
I'm gonna roll
Should
a
we
constitution.
keep going?
I'm gonna make a constitution saving throw to see if my old ass body can make it.
Okay. Would you roll?
I said a constitution saving throw, right?
Yeah.
It's a total of 5, sir.
So
I
you
have
get
a
about
+4 modifier.
Oh, I see. So you get about 3 hours into the walk. The sun is just setting behind the horizon, and Vince, the exhaustion from the previous nights and the previous days' events has gotten to you, and you pretty much just collapse onto the ground. Still conscious, but barely able to move.
Is there something wrong with everyone? Huh?
I just think he's old. We'll set up the idea.
Everyone's got issues.
You see Sebastian comes up to you, Etheria, and he's like, "He gets like this sometimes when he pushes himself too hard. He could just use a bit of sleep."
So it's just old man. Okay. I mean,
Don't worry, Vince, I'll take first watch.
yeah. I think
So do you all set up a camp?
he's fucking out.
He's already asleep. Vince doesn't help at all. He's already asleep.
All right. So, do you guys set up a fire, or are you just putting your bedrolls onto the ground?
I just set up a bedroll, but I'm taking first watch, so.
Bedrolls.
Just bedrolls, no fire?
Yes.
All right. So as you sit, make your beds for the day. The sun barely setting over the horizon as dusk creeps upon you all. You take one final look at the forest, and as you do, a massive lightning bolt strikes down at the heart of the storm. Massive boom shatters out across the fields. And so the sun sets beyond the horizon. You all go to sleep. Kane, you're taking first watch?
Yep. Kane is sitting. I don't know if there's a stump or a rock just in the ground. He's just sitting there, and he has Febjorn's hammer just in his hands. Just the feeling that was described last time, just kind of coursing through his hands, up his arms, into his shoulders, as he just stares at it, kind of twirling it around in his hands. Just wondering what he could have done different.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Oh god. Oh no.
Who'd you roll?
Hold on. I opened up D&D Beyond, but
He's gonna kill us all.
I opened up D&D Beyond, but my dumbass didn't open up my character sheet.
Wow.
Un momento, por favor, señor.
No más pantalones,
No
señor.
más pantalones. Mi nombre es biblioteca. It is a perception check. It's a 6.
A 6.
Oh my god.
So you are you're trying to keep watch, but thoughts and regrets begin to cloud your mind, and eventually 2 hours pass without you realizing it.
He kind of just, as he's waiting there, he's trying to pay attention, but he just keeps looking out at that storm. And whether it's made up in his head or not, he just kind of feels like every time he sees lightning strike, he feels like just a small jolt kind of through his body, in a sense. Like, it just feels like the tingling that was just emanating off the hammer kind of feels like as it intensifies and then goes back.
Yeah, and your watch ends. Do you wake anyone up?
Kane looks out, and due to a multitude of different things, you know, the how Vince, the ordeals Vince had been through, and how terrible Athera must feel right now, losing the only one out of this group, the only companion she actually knew out of this group we created, and the fear of not knowing what this whole curse or whatever is going on with him. Every time he goes to sleep, he either comes back the same or is trapped inside his own mind. I think he'd just kind of stay awake.
All right. Go ahead and are you taking another watch, basically?
Yeah, he'll take another watch.
Give me another perception check.
Yo, real quick, can you stop slurping that thing so loud, bro?
I'm trying to do it quietly. I really
It is
am.
so slurpy.
I'm
You are
so
slurping so loud. It's a 13.
It's out of nowhere.
You sound literally like the sound effect for the commercial. It's like for whenever it's on TV. Just
I'm so sorry. I was really trying to go like as quietly as possible. And I actually see myself
Slurping.
light up, and I'm like, oh no, they hear me.
He's getting every last drop out that thing.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, you take another watch, letting the others rest up, and you pay a bit more attention this time. You realize that you were letting fears and other thoughts distract you while on this watch, and so you keep a bit more vigilant eye. But even still, these thoughts creep back in your mind, and sometimes you'll like find yourself snapping back to reality.
Back to reality.
I was gonna do it, but I didn't want to break the mood.
I'm sorry. I already
But yeah.
fucked it up with slurping.
Bro, this man, first he's slurping all over the place, and he brings an M&M into this, a real Slim Shady. God.
And so yeah, another 2 hours go by. You feel yourself dozing off a bit. Do you wake someone up, or do you go for a third watch? You're muted.
There's a dog whining in the background. We're good. He looks around, and begrudgingly, he knows that if he doesn't rest, he will not be any use to the rest of the group. So he's going to walk over to Vince and shake Vince. And he just kind of like, Vince, I'm sorry to wake you, but it's third watch is yours.
Okay. Just like stretches, every bone pops like 20 times. Okay. Enjoy your rest, Kane.
And Kane just kind of, he doesn't even like look for a spot. He just kind of flops in the grass and just looks up at the sky and passes out.
So Vince, what do you do on your watch?
I'm starting to doubt everything we've done. Like, for Vince, it's always that good idea to just be the helpful hand, and then there's always the consequences. It's not always good. We lost a man. My son got hurt, and it's just a lot of doubt. But I'm with good people. Athera, Kane, James even. And you know what? Regardless of everything, I know it's going to be all right.
All right. Give me a perception check.
Please be good. I'm fucking begging you. Please. Hey, that's pretty good.
Would you roll?
Perception is
Not
plus
one.
Perception is a +1, so that would be an 18.
An 18. All right. So
It's so
you're
weird
sitting
having
here
+5.
having these thoughts, re-evaluating some decisions, and about an hour into your watch, you hear the snap of a twig behind you,
One
and
out at the ready, pointed at whatever it is.
and immediately after the snap, you hear a voice, just, "Ah, shit! I told you to be quiet."
No bother sneaking around. I can hear you now.
Sauce, did you get it at least? Did you get the? God. You hear more scuttling.
Is it going away?
It's still kind of near, but it's not retreating.
I'm going to wave my wand, and in the area around that, I'm going to cast dancing lights, illuminate the area around that.
You wave your wand, and from it, 4 orbs of light begin to appear and surround the camp that you guys have made. And standing over Kane, you see 2 teenaged humans huddled over, and they're like grabbing at his coin purse, and they currently have Febjorn's hammer in their hand.
Wait, did I not feel? Can I feel?
They rolled really well. Like they rolled very. I mean, you can go
Nat
go
20?
ahead.
Nat 20. I mean, it's what would it be rolling? Perception?
What is your passive perception? I'll do that.
Oh God, that's not great. I really wish you wouldn't have asked me that question. It's an 11.
So yeah, you wouldn't have been waken up by
Yeah,
this.
but I feel much better about the roll, Josh.
Too
Would-
bad.
It's a 19, Josh.
Too bad. It's your passive. You're asleep.
So I see these 2
Would,
teenagers trying to mug.
Just really quick,
What's up?
would Athera notice this?
No.
What's
with
your
her
passive?
14.
No,
No? Oh, okay.
they rolled an 18 on their stealth. Vince barely noticed this.
dancing lights illuminating the camp and me seeing these two kids. I'm just...
Yeah, the dancing lights at this point does rouse both. It does rouse you all from your sleep.
No, kids.
Just shit.
Don't.
Just go. Just
Kane
go.
just, like,
And you
rips
see
his
they
hand up and
start.
grabs the hammer.
She
He
casts
doesn't care about the
Entangle.
coin purse.
Okay, so Kane, give me, I guess this will be a grapple essentially to try and grab it from them.
Okay. Yeah, because he
so a
doesn't care about
strength.
the hammer. I mean, he doesn't care about the coin purse. All he's grabbing for is the hammer.
Yeah, give a strength, and they're gonna contest it.
Strength check.
Yeah, but do it with advantage because you just woke up.
Also,
Or
just
sorry,
real-
disadvantage.
Also, really quick question.
Hmm.
How quickly would Aethera notice that they are on top of? Who'd you say they were on top of? Kane?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long would you say it would take her to realize that?
Once waking up from the dancing lights and hearing "run," I'd say it takes a few seconds to locate where they are and be able to get something out.
All right.
And that's just
Just
with
let
my
me-
strength modifier, correct?
Yeah.
Just let me know when.
Could it
I've already.
be an athletics check? Can we call it a disadvantage athletics?
No.
That's a
He's
13.
grasping for
A
the
13?
straw.
It's a 13.
Yeah. No. You go to reach and they move out of the way of you grabbing it and they start to run.
It was a 22 without it.
Cast Entangle.
Disadvantage.
What's the range on that?
It is 90 feet. It is
Okay.
a 20-foot 20-foot square.
Okay. Yeah. And what is that? A strength saving throw?
Strength save, yes.
All right.
And it turns, I think, into difficult terrain.
What's the
Yeah.
DC?
14.
Well, they rolled both 8s, so they are entangled.
Okay, so they're stuck then. Is all right.
Yeah.
Don't worry, everyone. Rest
Kane
easy.
just gets up.
I'll take care of it.
Kane's standing, like, full height, like, full half-orc height.
And
walks
they
up,
they got.
walks up to the one holding the hammer. He doesn't care about the coin purse.
Mm-hmm.
He holds his
He
hand down.
he takes a swing with the hammer.
Kane's
You would
Kane will
deck a
take-
child in
Kane
the
will take
face.
it even if he hits it.
That's because they are what, restrained?
Let
Yeah.
me double check for you.
Oops.
I need to double check what these things do.
Make sure I got it.
Yeah, they're restrained by the entangled plants.
Maximus, go
I
somewhere
believe that means they have disadvantage and cannot move. Restrained. Yeah, attack rolls have disadvantage. So he is taking an attack roll with this hammer. And with disadvantage, he goes to swing, but the weight of the hammer is too much for him to handle, and he lets loose and kind of fumbles it and drops to the ground.
Kane picks it up in one hand. So like I'm assuming like the kid was struggling to hold it with two.
Mm-hmm.
And Kane picks it up with one hand, gets really close to his face, and just goes,
Didn't your parents teach you not to take things from others?
He's fairly scared at this point. We're just trying to save our town.
There are other ways to save your town.
Dancing
No,
lights kind of drifts over to illuminate them.
And you see these 4 lights appear in almost a circle around them.
You have
like Vince, backlight me. More intimidating.
one moment, Kane. You each have 1 minute. Explain now.
Well, we heard the adults talking that our town didn't make enough for the taxes this year with the harvest, and so we were just trying to find ways to possibly bribe the ambassador.
Harvest, are you too from Shurfield?
Yeah?
Good. We're heading there. I'm going to take you to your parents, regardless. And we, ourselves, the people who helped the town after the goblin raid you survived,
Oh no.
Yes, that's us.
Uh, Please, we'll go back, I promise.
An apology is fine.
I'm sorry.
Good. We will take you back home. We are going through quite a bit right now. Robbing us is quite a bad move. But
Dean pulls out rope.
what I will say is we've solved one problem. Regardless of the effectiveness of it, we will assist you into this.
You see the other kid behind the one that had grabbed the hammer. He looks at you and where did you get that hammer?
And Kane nods his head back toward the dead body in the middle of the camp and goes, "From a friend who's fallen."
Oh no.
What?
That's Febjorn, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
You see he just kind of drops as well as he can while still being restrained by these vines on the ground.
Kane just like reaches down and like starts ripping up the vines to like get both of them loose. And he looks at the one who stole his coin purse and just says, and just goes, "Give me the purse, keep the coin."
What were you gonna say, Aethera?
Aethera just drops concentration on
Oh, so it
on the
just
spell.
doesn't-
Okay.
Kane goes to grab it and it just disappears.
No,
The
it just
kid-
all welts away really quick.
You see the kid hands you back the coin purse. Doesn't even take anything from it.
Kane tells him to stick out his hand and just pours the coins into his hand.
He
If you wish for assistance, you can always ask people. A lot of people are a lot more generous than you think.
Why does no one help our town when we ask for it?
Because you're asking the wrong people.
You see he takes the coins and like puts it into his own bag. And go ahead and mark all of your money off of your character sheet if you're doing that.
It's 10 gold.
What about the 100 you got from the?
I don't remember where that went, if I'm being honest with you.
It's on your other character sheet.
Oh, you're right. It is on the other one. So, yeah, they get the 110. Let me go to the other. Let me open up the other character sheet.
That's a lot of money.
Imagine being broke.
Actually, he's gonna give him 100. He's gonna keep 10 so he can pay for stuff.
Okay. They
It's
put
okay. It's
the
okay.
100
Just
gold into
loot.
their bag. It's like,
It's all right. Just loot Febjorn's corpse.
No, all of his gear exploded out around him whenever he died. It's already been picked up.
I picked it up. I picked it up like it was a battle royale.
So, explain to me this. Why is Febjorn's death unfortunate thing? You're taking it harder than most. Explain.
He's just been a part of the town. Everyone knew Febjorn. He helped all of us, even to his own detriment.
Sorry, I'm doing math.
I can safely say that he was doing that to the end.
Mistakes were made. Hold on, I'm sorry. Give me a second.
We're heading back to properly bury him.
Can we help?
Now that's a start. The kids aren't bad, kids aren't so bad after all. But in the meantime, we're finishing our rest. Please take a moment to rest yourselves.
It'll be a long walk tomorrow.
Vince, guides them back to our little camp. Kind of gives one of them his bedroll since I'm on watch.
Oh, Kane's not even using his bedroll. He was sleeping in the grass.
And I'm gonna continue my watch.
All right. So, after all this goes down, you take another sit, keeping an eye out. It's a rather quiet night. Hardly any bugs that you can hear. No crickets. The storm in the distance has calmed down a bit, and the rest of your watch continues uneventful.
Take a power nap and then continue.
All right. You're going to take a power nap. Give me a constitution check
Yeah.
to see if you can wake yourself up.
Yes, hopefully. Constitution check or saving throw?
Check.
Check. Okay. Still a +4. Please don't fail me. Anyway. That is 9 plus 4, 13.
13. You drift off, then you jolt awake. You're not sure how long it's been.
I'm gonna start measuring stars real quick. Hold on.
You do this. Give me a perception check, and this will be for your watch.
Ooh. 15.
15. Nice.
Let's go. It was decent.
So, you're sitting there keeping watch. Still not 100% sure about how long you were asleep. But about 30 minutes into your watch, the sun starts to peek over the horizon.
Okay.
The sky begins to light up from the black of night to golden orange. You look over back at the forest and the clouds are all gone. And in fact, there's not a single cloud in the sky right now. Dew has befallen the grass.
Dawn is breaking. The day is halfway done. All right, everybody.
Pure old man fashion. You go around waking everyone up.
Yep.
You go over to Sebastian and you try and wake him up, and he pushes your hand off and rolls over.
I'm gonna lift him up, stand him on his feet.
And he rubs his eyes and stretches.
Yep, there you go.
His tail flops to the ground as he hunched over and walks forward.
And one by one, give Athera a soft shake. Well, I did what I could. All right.
Fear's dead.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
I after picking Sebastian up, plopping him on his feet to make sure he wakes up and stops refusing me, I'll walk over to Athera and I just give a soft shake.
She kind of half rolls over and looks over her shoulder at you. Before
move on.
Yeah, then she just gives a soft stretch before getting up, starting to pack everything up.
A good old on Kane's back. Good little.
Kane kind of
Throws Kane's back up.
Kane kind of rolls over and walks over to the two kids that were. Walks over to the two kids and kind of gently wakes both of them up.
You say they wake up squinting from the sun that is now in their faces.
And predictably, he's like,
sadly, it was not a dream.
I guess we're going on now?
It's time for us to make our way to the city.
And so, yeah, you guys pack up camp, gather all the materials that you had laid out for the night, and begin walking the rest of the 2 hours back to Shurfield. And you get there, and you see on one of the buildings on the very edge of town In the back, there is a woman with two smaller children that she's playing with, keeping them entertained. And you see people running about on the inside of Shurfield.
Athera quickly grabs like a blanket or a cloak, anything that can that's larger than Febjorn, and kind of covers him up.
Yeah, you take one of the blinks that you used the night before, laid on top of Febjorn, and you guys proceed into town.
Yeah, Kane's got February basically just in both his arms.
Is it like a business thing? We're gonna talk to someone for like a space, like a lot.
No, I mean, you can just.
He's just trying to find
Unless-
the halfling lady. That's who he's looking. That's who Kane's looking for. He's looking for. I can't remember her name off the top of my head currently.
Zephnir?
Zifnir. Yeah, he's looking for Zifnir.
I look at I look into Thera.
Okay.
Would you like to possibly
That's
bury
fine.
him by the shop or
That's fine.
somewhere close?
I haven't marked that as well, but
Recognize.
Athera kind of scratches the back of her head and tries to recollect whether or not he had a specific place that he'd rather
Well,
be
let's
laid to rest.
pull out our Ouija boards and commune with the dead here.
he's like maybe we should put him in his furnace.
Ah, stop it.
Could
We'll
you
keep a
use his
finger, but
blood
maybe
to
he
forge
used to
something?
die by the. He'll use the iron in his blood to forge a new sword.
We make another Febjorn.
The,
The
Why
Feb
does
blade.
the
Why does
Fed blade.
Jesus.
If you make anything with him, it has to be a hammer.
The Febonk. The Febyonk. Yeah, he's looking for Zephyr.
So yeah, you all enter in through the town. The sun is now pretty high in the sky at this point, but still the morning light shines upon everything, and
I'm gonna
you hear.
try to stay with Athera and for the moment now keep Febjorn's body out of sight. I don't want to be walking around parading his fucking corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely should not be parading his corpse.
The closer you get to the center of town, the more commotion you hear, and you see people running past you, paying you no mind. One of them even bumps into you as they run past.
I dropped my
I will
fucking
say that,
wand.
I will say that he didn't think about it, but he definitely still has Febjorn's hammer on his back.
As one of the individuals runs by, knocking into one of us, Athera tries to get their attention, just like reach out for them, kind of.
And they kind of stop and turn around at you with a slight panicked look in their eye.
Hey, what happened? What's going on? Why is everyone running?
He's here. The
He-
ambassador is here. And he scurries off.
Athera,
Does this ring? Wait, does this ring any bells to Athera? Hold on.
How long were you in Shurfield? It's been a couple years, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, when he says that, immediately you know that the ambassador's visit has arrived, and that's it's time for tax season. And in years past, it has not gone well.
So
about-
more so of a stay out of sight, out of mind type of thing.
Athera, if you would kindly make sure that Febjorn is properly taken care of, we will investigate, and you can meet us at the center of town where everyone's at.
Where did those kids go, by the way?
They're still with us, I believe.
Yeah, they're still
They're
with
still
you.
with you guys? Okay.
Let's.
Yeah, because
let's-
I had walked off to go find Zephyr, so
Okay. Oh, so
I
it's just
didn't
me
know.
and
I didn't know. I
Sebastian.
didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know if they went with me or if they were with you.
I'll send the kids with Aethera to go handle that, and
Mhm.
I'll take Sebastian to go investigate what's going on with this bustle of the town.
Okay.
Let's not go our own ways. Perhaps let's just all kind of stick together.
You,
Well,
you
Kane was
say
already
that
gone, so
you say that like something bad's going to happen.
Look, just in the past, look, just
Is Aethera,
if you
I'm
do
a people person. If this ambassador is such a bad
if you
person,
do
I could-
something, no,
I-
no, 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 no.
I-
If you do something stupid, the town can and will be held reliable for said act.
That being said, I'll take that as a warning. Sebastian, you'll stay with Aethera.
Be on your be on
So
your best
Sebastian, like,
behavior.
looks up at you, and then looks over to Aethera, and then kind of sidesteps over to Aethera.
I'll be back. I'm going to just simply observe Aethera. I'll be back. Okay.
Yes, observing will be the only thing that you do. Please and thank you.
No problem. I will. I pull out like a little notebook. I'll be sure to take my notes of this individual.
Okay.
All right. I'm going. And
right.
with that, I part ways. Wave off Aethera, give her one hug, and pat Sebastian on the head. And just head to see what this bustle is about.
All right. So who's going to the center of town, and who's going with Aethera to bury Fabjorn?
I'm going to the center of the town. Kane has already left to go find Zephyr,
And you left me in charge with the children.
yes, all three of them.
Ah.
can we talk? Can I say like because whenever I figured like whenever I split up to go find Zephyr, I made it known that I was gonna go find Zephyr.
Yeah.
Could I grab the money back from the teens to like give it to Zephyr so it goes to the town, or is it just still with the teens?
Yeah, I'll say you can grab it from them. And...
Okay.
So yeah, you have
100 gold and a
the
badge.
100 gold and the body of Fabjorn.
Before he even takes off, Aethera's just gonna crouch down real quick to the two kids. Okay.
I mean, they're teenagers.
So-
They're pretty much as tall as they're gonna get.
However,
fair.
Aethera
Yeah.
is a dragonborn, so
Yeah, Aethera's massive. She tall.
Fair.
Oh,
You lean over.
Look. Don't steal. All right. Go home. Stay safe.
All right, and they turn and run the opposite direction.
And then she proceeds to follow the old man.
Okay, so you're going to the center of town.
Yes,
All right.
because
Uh,
fuck babysitting.
All right, so we'll do Kane first. So you are carrying Fabjorn. You're looking around for Zephyr. Do you ask people, or do you just kind of try and find her?
I do ask a few people, just like, have you seen Zephyr today?
I believe she's up in the courtyard with the ambassador.
He's like, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And just kind of keeps going. Starts walking toward where they point.
Oh god, you're bringing a
So,
dead
yeah.
corpse to them.
So the courtyard, you see a mass of people kind of surrounding, and heading back, that is also where Vince and Aethera had headed to. So you all
Is
meet
it-
up.
Is it canon that Aethera's pretty much easily spotted within this town?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Is it
And it's
mainly
also-
humans here?
It's also not hard to miss you being so tall.
Seven and a half.
Yeah,
and a half
you
tall?
tower over a lot of people.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Hmm.
So would we be in different parts of the crowd because we left at different points?
I will
Athera
say,
would. I would say. Well, unless you would say otherwise, Mister Dungeon Master. I would say technically Athera would be a few people down or away from.
well, Vince, are you actively trying to get into the crowd to the front?
Yes, actually.
Okay, so
No.
Vince, you are pushing your way through the front, and there's a lot of people here.
Yes, it's
By the time Kane gets to the crowd, Athera, you're stationed in the back, looking over at everything, and so Kane is able to walk up to you, whereas Vince is currently in the crowd, moving forward.
I was. Wait, I thought I'd left or like earlier. Like I was off like almost pretty soon after we got into town. to
Well,
find her.
while they were also talking with other people, and so while you were off asking where Zephyr was, they pointed you back to the crowd where everyone else was heading.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
And so, but he's just continues walking. He's not rude, but he is making his way through people, trying not to kick people with Febion's feet.
All right. So Vince, you get to the front of this crowd, and what you see are three fully plate armored moorbounders that stand 10 feet from paw to shoulder. They are stationed in kind of like a triangle, with the center one being guarded by the two on its side. And on the back of the two on the side, you see fully armored knights, essentially, with massive great swords strapped to their back. Their face their face is fully covered with a helmet. You can't see into it, but you do see a buckler strapped onto their left arms. In the middle of these two, you see a elven man with blonde hair tumbling down past his shoulders. His arms are fully armored in what you can assume to be plate armor, strapped together at the chest with thick leather straps, and underneath is a robe that tumbles down past his waist, revealing the greaves, fully plate armored greaves that he's wearing. On all of their backs, you see a cape marked with that's split down the middle, left half being white, left or right half being red, and you know that is the flag of Ammikit. And this man in the middle is currently speaking with Zephyr, who is standing in front of the entire harvest that they've gathered together. And he's looking at her and he's like, "You expect this to pay for all of the backed taxes we've allowed you to procure in the past few years?" She's like, "Well, it's been hard. The harvest hasn't been growing well, and this is all that we could really get together. We don't even have enough for ourselves." And he goes, "I have heard enough of it. The king is not a charity. We let you live here under extremely lenient taxes in the past years, and now when we ask you to pay up, you cannot provide." She's like, "I'm sorry, our crops, they just don't yield the way they used to." He's like, "Enough!"
Is the crowd
If-
murmuring, or is it like silence while it's
It is dead silent. And so Kane and Athera, you hear all of this going on as well.
How far back are we from Vince? Because like I said, I'm pushing through people. So
You're pushing through, so you're about 10 feet behind Vince, but is still a fairly packed crowd.
yeah.
There, forgive me. Excuse me.
Is it? One more question. I apologize.
Mhm.
Is it? Is the armor like pretty much identical except for the fact that I don't have the cape or anything like that to the armor that Kane wears?
It is very similar. The knights themselves, their armor is red with white highlights around it.
Mm-hmm.
And while yours is just a chain shirt, theirs is full plate mail.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Excuse me.
You see the ambassador stops what he was saying to Zephyr, looks straight at you, goes, I'm sorry.
Yes,
You dare interrupt.
Well, I sincerely apologize. I would like to speak on the behalf of. Her last name's Greenleaf, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. I would like to speak on the behalf of Miss Greenleaf, if I may. If I may.
Excuse me, sir. I apologize, but I don't seem to recognize your face.
Oh, by all means.
No.
And
I must request that you stick your nose out of other people's business. For if I see your face in another town that I go to collect the taxes from, I will assure that town will be leveled.
Kane
Oh,
kind of
no.
continues pushing through.
You mean,
Kane
and I
pushes
do
through to
minor
the front
illusion,
of the crowd.
this face, and then it's his.
Oh,
Kane pushes through to
man.
the front of the crowd. Like,
And
gets a little bit more urgent at this point.
and with,
And-
Do I
each,
recognize?
each one of
Do
these
I
things, I
recognize
assume.
this?
hold on.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
So, Vince, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, with each one of each word I say, I'm like inching closer and closer. I'm assuming that the people have like parted to signal me out.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sir, if I may, I have a entire explanation and I have a solution for you.
And by this point, Kane, you break through the crowd.
Do I
And
recognize the actual
I have a
officer himself?
solution for you. And I simply
you recognize. Hold on.
yes.
Ben, we'll get just a second.
Yes, no, don't worry. I've got this. I got this. I got this.
So, Kane, you recognize the armor of the two knights beside him. You don't recognize the man himself. The knights, you can clearly tell these are high-ranking officers. They are only sent out to guard even higher-ranking officials.
Yeah. Kane kind of, as he breaks through the front, he nods at Zephnir and slowly bends down and sets Febjorn on the ground, still covered.
I didn't realize this was an open podium.
And he stands back up straight and basically salutes. And
I appreciate the respect, but you should allow me to attend to my affairs. And I don't seem to recall your face either.
Oh,
no, sir, I'm freshly retired from the army. Just
so-
passing through.
And why did you find it necessary to step out and place this body on the ground?
My apologies, sir. I happened to be on a job in this area, and this man passed away, and I knew he lived here. I was not aware that you were visiting today. However,
So you just stroll up and put a dead body on the ground before me?
It's very close to the leader of this town. Figured she would wish to know. However, sir, I do wish to ask, with respect to my service, that I can say just a word. Just a word.
I'm trying to get this done. What?
Aye, sir, I agree. If I might ask, how much do you profit normally from the vegetation and the materials collected from this town?
Normally, the farm towns, especially the ones in this area, are used to feed the other towns that can't produce
sir.
the food for themselves. So I would say roughly, I don't know, 10,000 gold's worth of produce.
10,000 gold's worth of produce. Yes, sir. The only problem with this town is that their only blacksmith is dead.
Okay. And that's
If you-
supposed to solve the solution how?
No, sir, it's not a solving the solution. It's a problem that can cause deterioration of your other products.
So what you're
Now,
saying is this town isn't worth being here at this point?
Incorrect, sir.
Allow me 1 moment, please, Kate.
Okay, Vince
Athera just
insulted
yells from the
his-
back.
and
Athera
Vince
yells.
insulted a superior officer. Shut your mouth.
I
Athera.
can save these people money. I have a solution. I
Athera just yells from the back, throws her arms up. This is a fucking shit show.
Kane, I have, you have had, I understand what I've done. I understand what I have done. But I have gotten what I needed. I have his attention. Now he has no choice but to listen to my words. Allow me one moment. What you have spoken has given him the idea that these people have no right to live here. Allow me one moment.
You know, all you've done is insult him.
This is a fucking mess.
To be honest, you've both insulted me.
You know what, sir? How about you butt out of this?
You see both knights reach for their swords as this man reaches out his hand and it ignites and fires. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think you quite aware how high-ranking I am.
Well, allow me to elaborate something. Who is it you represent?
The king himself.
The king of Ammikit.
Yes.
Oh, my golly, I apologize. I did not realize I'd never seen your face before myself. I represent the Von Carlyles.
God, the sass.
If you
That's supposed to threaten me.
No, but what I am offering you is a solution. Yet you refuse to listen. Thank you. And as a gesture, Vince simply takes his wand, hands it over.
You see he grabs your wand,
Good.
snaps it with just his hands, and it ignites in fire.
Okay. Vince puts his hand behind his back. My good sir, allow me to give a solution. You have what you have said, a 10,000 gold deficit in this property.
From this year alone. That's not counting all of the backed taxes these people have not provided.
Then give me the number.
You see, he thinks for a moment. You say you represent the Von Carlyles.
Indeed.
I was made aware that they were dead.
One Yola Von Carlyle.
He's been isolated in his tower for 3 years.
I, a delegate of his.
He has spoken to no one and answers only to the king's advisor.
I am a bit of a messenger. He claims to want to purchase more land. I've been out scouting. But if this land, these people, do not provide enough, allow Mr. Carlyle to pay on their behalf. Maybe perhaps an arrangement can be made.
Give me a deception check with fat disadvantage.
I'm well aware. Deception with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Come on! No! Son of a
Nat
bitch!
1.
No, it was a nat 20 the first roll!
Oh, what was the total?
The 21. It was a nat 20 plus 1.
Well, I meant like what... Oh, have you not rolled the second one yet?
No, that's why
Okay.
I'm so mad. you son of a bitch, you better...
He rolls another net 20.
Come on! 19.
19?
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not good enough, though.
Not enough.
He looks at you. Do you know who my boss is? Yes, it is the king. But do you know who I take my orders directly from?
I would assume the key.
It is his advisor. The king only talks with his advisor. And the king's advisor has 4 council members. Do you know who they are?
Can't say that I do.
Well, one is Yolov.
You see Vince start to sweat profusely.
So, I request that you stop the bullshit.
Well, since you've called my bluff, and I'll admit it here, what could I, a simple man, accomplish for you, such an important member of our society, that could allow these people another 10 years?
We have already been gracious enough. These people have not provided the taxes that we require for the past 5 years. And yet they insult the king by bringing me this amount! And you see he unleashes a bolt of fire straight into the harvest and he erupts into flames.
What have you accomplished? Okay.
Sir, with respect, that was not becoming of a servant of the king. As people
You-
who have fought and died for him, that was not becoming.
What is not becoming is not providing enough food for the rest of the kingdom. And frankly, they say their plants aren't growing enough. It means the plants don't have enough nutrients. And so he waves his hand across, and his entire arm erupts into fire as he fires off 7 scorching rays in various directions, striking each building. And you watch as one strikes straight into the heart of the forge, erupting the whole building into fire. And the entire town is set ablaze. He looks... He's like...
Kane just kind of stands
Now,
at attention.
since all of these people can start fresh in another city, I am heading back to Blackburn Keep to announce the failure of this town.
The only failure here, sir, is you.
You do not talk back to an official like that. And this is not a fight you want to start.
I'm simply put my hand to stop Kane.
Now, I would
Kane is
advise...
trembling. Kane is...
You can feel it. You can feel it in my hand too. It's okay.
I would advise that the rest of you assist whatever town you care about in getting out of here before some people get hurt. Now, as I stated, I'm heading back to Blackburn Keep. Farewell. May this town rest in peace. And he whips the Moorbounder around, and the 2 knights in front of him turn around too, and they head out of the town.
Athera
Fuck
just
this
yells.
guy!
Athera just yells as they start leaving. Go fuck yourself while you're at it.
And as this town is erupting into flames, things are crashing down. You hear screams from people who were inside their houses. Some of them got hit as they rush out of these buildings, and the entire town is now outside and currently scrambling around to get to safety.
Okay.
Kane kind of pulls out the hammer and just is weighing it in his hand, just kind of doing that little jitter thing where you kind of toss it up a little bit, but you're kidding, and he's just staring at the back of the official's head. And he's he goes, and he whispers to himself, probably loud enough for Vince to hear. He goes, "My brothers did not die, so these people could represent us this way."
Plan of attack later, my friend. We must help the people.
So,
And I
what is
know-
everyone doing?
Well, I'm going to call for my son, because he's got my backup.
You see Sebastian run towards you, hands you the frying pan.
Well, good enough. It's an arcane focus for now.
I forgot he had your backup wand. So did he.
It'll work. It'll do for now. And just I'm casting Ray of Frost to try to put out fires left and right.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Oh, please be good. Please be good. That's one of the good ones. 9 plus 5, 14.
14. Yeah, so you're unleashing this ray of frost. It's quenching out fires, but the fires are still spreading. You're putting some of it out, but a lot of buildings have been consumed.
There's only so much I can do. Athera, please answer me. Are you okay?
What?
Do you can you summon a
Jesus.
storm or something? Rain.
Can I? No, I cannot. No, I can't. That is not something that I'm capable of doing. Why would you assume that I could?
You're a druid. I'm sorry.
What the fuck does that mean?
Don't worry about it. We need. I can only do so much. Please help me.
Kane goes to the well and just starts like getting the bucket and like just filling it and then running to buildings that he hears people screaming in, and just starts basically working on those buildings. Or like he probably like just like takes off his armor and dumps the bucket on himself, so it's easier for him to go in. He just runs in and just starts pulling people out.
Yeah, you run over to... There's a fountain in the center of town, but you're able to find a bucket nearby. You scoop some water, start throwing it onto buildings. And the more you do this, the more you realize the fire is starting to get more and more out of control, and you hear more people scream. So instead of focusing on the fire, you dump water on yourself and you rush into a building. You see a woman with cradling her new infant baby trapped behind some lumber that had fallen and is currently ablaze.
He takes the hammer and smashes it down on the blaze to basically just make a little gap, and then reaches
Give me
in.
a strength check.
That is a strength check. It's 15 plus 4, 19.
Yeah, you bring down this hammer. The wood splinters weak from the fire that happened. You now have a clear path to this woman.
And like he's not caring about any burns or anything. Like he's just grabbing burning wood and throwing it out of the way, and then goes and just grabs them and runs out. And he just keeps going into any building that he hears people inside.
Go
Just
ahead and
smashing
take...
things that aren't load bearing and just pushing his way through walls if he has to.
All right, so go ahead and take 4 points of fire damage for doing all of this.
And he runs from building to building. Any building he hears people inside of, he just barrels into the front door. He goes back to the fountain, dumps more water on himself, and then just runs in.
So yeah, you're rushing through, taking people out of the town. More and more people are flooding out into the various exits that surround the town. Eventually, the crowd thins. The buildings erupt more and more into flames until eventually you all manage to get everyone out of the town. And you get everyone that you can find out of the town, and eventually the whole town is just sat around the burning city.
Payne walks back to where he left Febjorn's body and gently picks it back up.
Yeah, you have to
Covered in
push
burns
past some fallen buildings that have fallen onto the path. You push through them, grab Febjorn's body, which has still remained untouched by the fire, and you walk out of there with it.
And he just goes and finds Zephnir again, and walks up to her and just kind of drops to both of his knees.
She looks at
Holding.
you and looks at the town. I should have known this was going to happen. Is that Fabjorn?
Aye.
Recognize the hammer on your back. This is
You
not
want-
what he would have wanted.
No, it is not. But he would want you to have this. And he pulls out both his gold and Febjorn's gold
Mm-hmm.
and hands it to her. Just distribute it how you need to, whether it's rebuilding or helping safely move these people. But he would want you to have it.
I gravely appreciate this, but I really doubt Shurfield's gonna make it through this one.
Then use it to get these people somewhere safe. Get them relocated.
Yeah, I will.
Whatever that money can do to help you people and the people that Fabian loved, you do it.
I know quite a few people are gonna probably head over to Spalding, the nearest town.
If you end up needing anything, don't be afraid to ask.
I appreciate it. And she
Don't worry. I'm going to make that fucker pay.
even if you get rid of him, he's just gonna get replaced.
Then we replace them all.
Mm. Yeah. And she gets up, turns to the town. This won't end here. We gotta get you all to somewhere you could stay, but we've got a bit of coin now for any nights that we need to stay at any inns. Probably won't be much for all of us, but it should help at least a little bit. Anyone that wishes, I'm heading to Spalding. I hear there's a man there that may be able to help us out. If you want, you can come with me. I'll take care of all of you. And she gets up, gathers what little things she had on her, and starts walking.
Kane slowly kind of gets back to both his feet. Looks at the city around him. And in his head, he's finally kind of made that decision. It's like, this is not what I fought for. This is not what I've watched friends die for. And he looks over at the rest of them, at the group, and he says, back to the topic of Fabian. If we get him buried and have a way to either get back to him for the process or have the ability to resurrect him from a piece of him, there might be a way for us to get the money. As it comes for the king and for his overbearing representatives, I don't think they need to be in power any longer. But that's something that is out of my hands for now. We've lost a friend. And we were unable to help a city that was decimated. But I don't think this is where our future ends together. And I think no matter how much bad we run into, I think we can do some good. But I feel like we need to be on the same page with each other when it comes to these things. Diplomacy and the word they're good. Getting things done without bloodshed is the greatest success that we can have. But there are some people that you cannot be diplomatic with. Some of them just have to go. But if we want to bring back Fabian, I'll have to go grovel to my father. Then that's not even a guarantee, but I think it might be one of the best options we have. But I'm no leader. We're a group. We make this decision together.
Do you have something, Athera?
She's kind of just at a loss for words. After watching what just happened, and the loss of a friend that she's grown to know over the past couple of years. Just kind of attempting not to let it show that it's affecting her.
Kane, if we go through with this, I understand my rules don't work for everybody. I prefer diplomacy first. I can
Agreed.
safely say that is done. The rules can be broken for those who deserve it and those who cannot be reasoned with. This man applies to both. And while I'm gonna have to take a page out of his book. Kane,
Aye.
I'm going to need something for my home.
And let's get going.
Oh, great. I gotta head home now.
And with that, we are going to end today's session.
Fuck this guy! I swear to God!
I like so.
It takes the
You
employment of like
motherfucker!
5 druids! 5 druids!
This motherfucker!
It takes the employment of 5 druids. You could clear the land. It'd be so beautiful. But no one wants to spend money on that. You don't think, oh my God, we can just employ, hey, do you believe in plants? Good, go over there.
That was by the way, before you cut me off, that's what I was going to try and
I was going to say the same
I was
point.
going to
say
give the
same
money
point.
that my money and Fabian's money to and basically proposition that we use money to be able to basically magically rejuvenate the fields so that next year's harvest can be tripled. That was what I was going to try and do.
You know what they say,
you cut me
fire's a
off, and I'm
great
like,
fertilizer.
yeah, but then you cut me off, and then
Sorry.
you insulted him more, and I was like, yeah, I don't think it's going. I don't think I have a chance now. I don't think I.
I first needed his attention, and I did that, and then I failed my bluff, and I don't think I could have possibly succeeded it.
Oh no, he's too close to the top.
Like a
The
30?
fucking shit
Oh,
show.
never mind. You mean like, yeah, chain of command. God,
Oh, yeah.
what an asshole.
That's a Josh. That's a good enemy. That's
Fuck
a
this
good
guy.
enemy.
What did I send me?
All right, let's read the text from the dead.
Oh no. We're still recording, by the way. so it's all. This is all. You can
The
think
spirit of Febjorn wants this guy punched in the cock. Febjorn will not stand for this. I don't think you're aware of how much my cock you would shove down your fucking throat, you soggy bitch. Ooh, this motherfucker.
I got one message from the dead during that part, which was the hammer wants his blood.